Last week actually was a very, very interesting week for AI, and this was probably not as well covered as it should have been. And this was the Google I/O conference, the in-out conference of intelligence, and Sundar Pichai was on stage, and he was quoted as saying that he's launching more intelligence available to everyone, everywhere, by putting AI into everything. It's going to be a technology that will be so ubiquitous that we won't even notice it and we won't even name it. So this is Sundar Pichai's quote on March 21st. If we paid attention, and a lot of people did, what they launched on the 21st was amazing. What they did was everything that they said they wanted to do. They put it in Gemini Pro. They put it in search mode. They made AI shopping available, which is something that Google has been working on for years. They launched Veo 3, which I'll talk about in a minute. They put in something called Flow for the creator community. In Beam, they have real live speech translation in meetings, and also the ability to go from 2D to 3D. They launched Gemini Live, which is an app with a camera that allows natural interactions with an AI assistant. They did Project Mariner to be able to enable agency inside the Google Suite. And they launched Google XR glasses. Now, if you remember Google Glass, that was something a decade ago that now is commercial. There's inline lens, speakers, display. It'll map your route. You can talk to it, you can interact with it, and you can interact with the real world with Android glasses. And what's interesting is that they monetize this. So if you get this whole thing, it's $250 a month. So the road to ubiquity is definitely here. So we're starting to also see people that are SaaS service providers in the space. So Business of Fashion laid out and noted 3 different SaaS providers that they were starting to look at: Daydream, Capsule, and Constructor. And they're starting to look at some of the stats of being able to have people on board, having percentage of images being uploaded into Capsule in just a few weeks, and the increases in the capability of search using these tools. So Daydream is something called the ChatGPT for shopping. So this is the ability to say, I need something and I don't know where to get it, and it goes in and does shopping for you and finds out what you can find in certain people's catalog. They just got $50 million in seed funding. Capsule is similar. It's more like the Shazam of shopping, where you have your phone, you can take a picture of something, you can say, what is it, where can I get it, and how much can it cost? It has over 20,000 scraped data points every single day. So you see that the SaaS service world is growing. Constructor is also very interesting. So they're looking at the ability to have a B2B platform that enables brands and retailers to embed AI into product search. Their evaluation is $550 million. It's tripled since 2022. And so they're working with partners like Under Armour and Birkenstock, and really, really similar to other really, really good incumbents now, like Lily AI, Bloombreach, and Vantage Discovery. So you're starting to see a lot more shopping-empowered search. So these are the practical application layers of how AI is actually being used in our industry. So we're talking a lot right now about text to image. But one of the things that McKinsey called out is beyond the ability for us to say there's a tremendous amount of text to image out there, after coding, the next most important use case is text to video. So I had the good fortune of working with Machine Cinema at Fordham University this spring, and we worked with video editors. And the brief was this: make a 5-minute video in 4 hours. And what I thought was really impressive, and this was in February, that they employed 15 different tools. Some of the tools I knew, but I'm not in the editing community, and some of them I didn't know. Udio, OmniHumans, 11 Labs, but it's everything around music, voice, editing, and adding in video. So they actually did some really, really great stuff. I'm going to play the video right now. This is the video that they came up with. This took them 4 hours to make. So you can see the reference to Kling AI and some of the other tools. This is impressive video. So that was 4 months ago. After the launch of Veo 3, which I just described a couple minutes ago at the Google conference, there has been an explosion of people using Veo 3 for video images that are, and to be fair, that 5 hours of video that I just showed you, the 3 minutes of video that took 5 hours, there were some inconsistencies here. This is what Veo 3 launched a week ago, and this is what you can get now.
Welcome to a non-existent car show. Let's see some opinions.
I mean, man, the acceleration is crazy. You look far, step on the pedal, and you are there.
I feel safe with him in an SUV, and it seems to be like the right type of car for him.
I think the range is only going to get better. Sorry. We don't want to drive gas cars anymore.
Yeah, no more gas cars.
Yeah.
You can see I'm kind of a misfit here, but don't tell anyone. I've just bought an electric car.
I think it's really great for families and for little babies with all the safety features that these SUVs have.
But what you're really seeing is that technology is going to be very, very important in terms of how we go forward.
It was great to come to the conference because my husband loves cars.
I think I have to buy an EV now. I love my muscle cars, but
I try to stay as healthy as I can so I can make it to the next car show.
So that is the difference that we're seeing between February and now. This is also something that Google can do in Flow. I won't play the whole video, but I think it's interesting to see the special effects that creators can start to use. And again, this all was launched about 3 weeks ago. So the ability for us to cross the uncanny valley, for us to believe the images that we see and to use them in media and in the creator community is exploding like it's never exploded before. So I'm going to go back to grounding us in reality, some of the facts that some of the consulting companies were talking about. PwC is thinking now about how do we adopt AI? How are we adopting it into the enterprise? And you can see we've got force rank from left to right. The bubbles illustrate how big the adoption rate is at different points along the journey of AI adoption, from productivity to vendor-embedded AI, which is what I just showed you, some of these SaaS service providers, to finding targeted use case focus, and then scaling AI across the enterprise. So you can see that a lot of companies are looking at figuring out ways to get speed to market, how to scale to many users, but that overall use of generative AI is hard to measure. What we're finding is the next phase of adoption in terms of practical application is to find specific use cases, to use these SaaS providers like the people that I talked about earlier, and how can they implement AI into your enterprise to actually show value. Once that value is shown, then that becomes the gateway drug to enterprise and platform AI.